I'm Zach James. I run this Birdie Fox Twitter account. Sometimes I piss you off, sometimes you love what I have to say. But this affects everybody. Right now, in the House and Senate, they're passing or trying to pass all these bullshit fucking laws. I'm Zach James. I run this Birdie Fox Twitter account. Sometimes I piss you off, sometimes you love what I have to say. But this affects everybody. Right now, in the House and Senate, they're passing or trying to pass all these bullshit fucking laws. I'm Zach James. I run this Birdie Fox Twitter account. Sometimes I piss you off, sometimes you love what I have to say. But this affects everybody. Right now, in the House and Senate, they're passing.
Change menus. There we are. All right. Let's go ahead into. There's my mouse. All right. Let's. All right. I'm going to. I played some with Maria, and got her up to Hunter C rank. We're going to continue this, and then I might at another point continue with Sand if we do get another ending. If there are multiple endings, which I hope there are, then we'll probably play Saiyan. I think there's only 3 hunters. Let me see. Yeah, there's only 3 hunters. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to there. And let's play. All right. Now I know I already upgraded a bunch of stuff. All right. Classic mode. All right. Now she has a gun, so I'll be able to do a ton of stuff from a distance. Thank you. Launch sacred energy to deal holy damage and accumulate heat. Sub-weapon hits 50 have a launch flames that deal fire damage and accumulate heat. I'll go with that one. No. Okay. Fire stake forward to deal physical damage. Power increases. Oh, excuse me. Let's go with that one. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Generates a wave that deals damage, cause explosions, creates a wave. Let's go with this one. Alright. I don't like this one. But I guess I'm stuck with her for right now, so oh, my nose itches. Okay. Alright, still going. Fires projectile that deals blood damage to enemies hit by sub-weapon. I'll do the boomerang and stuff. Okay. My word. Go there, thank you. Alright. This weapon is just... This portion is just not that satisfying to use. The fact that I have to constantly press square just to even get it out instead of it acting like a flamethrower is a bit disappointing. Yep, there's that one. Might also upgrade my... Might as well top off my health. There's no harm in that. Okay. Alright. Oh, yeah. Hey, Tomahawk. How's your day been? Oh. Unfortunately, I gotta clear this area before I can even change my weapon thing, which I wish I would just kept the old one. Oh, that's good. Mine's going pretty well. Thankfully, I was able to get my review for Metroid Prime 4 out yesterday. I do not like this flamethrower. It just does not have the oomph of the other weapons that I've played with. Just watching the internet burn for like the 8... Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah, that just seems like a natural occurrence nowadays. Regular occurrence. There is a good chance that Sakura and I'm gonna try to get Kodiak involved, to play some Space Marine 2 next weekend. since I've got no reviews coming up right now that are ready, I'll have something ready within the next couple weeks. I just need to finish up the latest Umamumase, the rest of season 1, and then I can get my review for part 2 of season 1 down. So far, that is really good. Oh yeah, the whole cha-cha thing. Seriously, that was funny. How? Of course, the only people who are going to take offense to a harmless joke that is actually funny are retards over the internet. So, yeah. Have you played Metroid Prime 4 at all, or what was your opinion on the whole thing? You. Ooh. Okay, I'm just. Let me use my mouse. Okay. Here we go with this one. I haven't owned a Nintendo in quite a while. Oh, that makes one of us. I own mainly the console, mainly Nintendo console. Well, I think I talked about this before with you, but I'm actually expecting my Nintendo 64 from that I got my sister in during the holidays. Well, over Christmas. That should be coming in Tuesday. Really looking forward to get that, and it's gonna be hooked up to the same CRT TV that I have my Super Nintendo hooked up with. After finishing up Metroid Prime 4, I've got to say the internet really overreacted with Prime 4 because it is genuinely a great game. I still had a ton of fun with it, despite some of the downright terrible dialogue. And believe me, there was some terrible dialogue, but it still felt like a Metroid game. There was still plenty of exploration for you to actually do, and overall, I could definitely recommend it to Metroid fans, despite the flaws the game had. And it still showed that Retro Studios it still shows that Retro Studios knows how to still make a great game. And the Nintendo consoles that I own, including the 64 that is coming in the mail, I own a GameCube, a Wii, a couple Nintendo handhelds. I own all, except for, I don't own a Nintendo Wii U. I don't know if I'm ever going to own that one. Excuse me. I might get it just for a couple certain games, but that's a remaster of Twilight Princess and the remaster of Wind Waker. But I already own a couple of those original copies, so I don't really need what? Come on. There we go. All right. Put you there. right. Get in. Thank you. What in the world? Get just. Oh, fuck. Why is it? Just. Oh, that is aggravating. Stop it right now. It was that spastic last time I played this. Alright. $20. Alright. 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 I am just going to go ahead and just go straight. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, Nintendo still knows how to make video games just in every other aspect. They're a shit company. Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there. Yeah, this weapon does not... yeah, no. I need to... Yeah, that's the only reason why Nintendo has stayed relevant, is they at least know how to make good games. That is the one thing you can give them. Alright. Let's go. Alright. Alright. Yeah, knows how to make video games. Just... I want to go back to that one. Drive a stake into the ground. I think that one will be fine. All right. This is much better. All right. Whoa. I did not realize that... Okay. Let's see. Yep, I'll take that one. Yeah, outside of the... I have the Wii. No, let me go back. The only consoles I don't have a Nintendo is the original NES, which I do plan on getting at some point, but it's just more for collecting sake. And the that VR type headset that Nintendo tried to do to hold people over until the 64 came out, and then we have the Wii U. Those are the only two Nintendo consoles that I don't have, and I don't know. Other than the NES, I have no clue if I'm ever going to get a that Retro Boy, was it? I think that's what it was called. I don't remember. And the Wii U, of course, was Nintendo's worst selling console. What the fuck? Okay. I'm going to see about changing my controller out because this just might need to be charged. So I'll be right back. Alright. Okay. I really do need to get a actual controller just for my PC so I don't have to constantly be using my PS4 controllers. I did have one years ago, but I used it to play games on my phone and stuff, but I never really used it. And then I sold it, and then I really wish I still had it because I could use it for my computer. You live and you learn. Alright, ooh, yes. And the other consoles I do own is I own a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, a 3, and a PlayStation 4. Funny enough, I don't own a PlayStation 5. Actually have had no reason to buy a PS5. I didn't even play Spider-Man 2. That was one that I would have gotten a console for, but once I heard the whole story with Spider-Man 2, yeah, no. That's when I did. That's why I never plan on buying a PS5 or playing Spider-Man 2 in general. Because I could. Because I could buy it on the computer and play it that way, but I have no interest, like, at all. And I loved Spider-Man from 2018. Yeah. That's one of my reasons. That's also one of my reasons why I'm not. Well, I said this before with Wolverine, and but yeah. Ink. Yeah, I know what you were saying. Increase blood attack power by 25%. Yes. And let's see. Yeah, topping off my health won't hurt. Oh, man. The amount. Yeah, and what's really strange is most games nowadays, I'm actually play indie or Eastern games. The only Western game that I played recently was I did play some Red Sack, and I did play, but I got kind of bored with Red Sack. I'm not gonna lie. And then I did, and I have been playing Space Marine 2, of course. I don't consider, is France considered in the West? Because I don't know if I consider them being in Europe a Western, because it's France. I mean, they could very well be a Western company, but they're also an independent company, so they're kind of divorced from all the BS that comes with that industry. Creates a wave that decides to deal damage when attacking the main weapon. Yep, that'll work. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Alright. Let's go with this one. Oh my word, what is with the sensitivity? Alright. You know what? There we go. Okay. Settings. Okay. There's not a whole lot of system settings on here, which is fine. Yes. Yeah, Expedition 33, I have played. I might eventually play it on stream at one point, but for my first playthrough, I really just wanted to enjoy that game myself. I didn't want someone coming in and giving me spoilers, and since I don't have any mods yet, which I will eventually have to get mods because, well, I'll need them. Everyone does, even other VTubers like another VTuber I watch, she even has mods, even though normally her viewer count on her streams is like between 20 to 30 people, and that's just a regular for her, and she's happy and content with her size. She's got so yeah. See? There we go, okay. Okay, fine. The fact that I have to swap... I don't know what's going on, but I'm eventually going to get a controller that I can connect via Bluetooth. Oh, there you are. Ooh. Alright. Alright, on to next room. Yeah, there is not a whole lot of, and when concerning Expedition 33, there is not a whole lot of negatives you can say. You really got to find some nitpicks, but if there is any nitpicks or any negatives I can possibly say about Expedition 33, have to do graphically. I did run into a couple odd glitches in my playthrough, but they weren't terrible. They were just mainly me getting stuck on geometry and stuff, but I was able to get out of it fairly quickly. There were some graphical hiccups in the menus, like clipping and stuff like that, but those are normal things, especially with the Unreal 5 engine. Going forward, I would actually really like to see Sandfall make their own engine for their own games. That way, in the long run, it's actually cheaper. That way they can fine-tune the engine to the the stuff that they need. And I hope Sandfall just continues with making turn-based games. Realistically, they also should not go outside their means, because it went to show, if you keep within budget, you don't go beyond your scope and your capabilities, and you stay within budget, it just goes to show you that you can make money. And it also doesn't help that the entire team was extremely talented. Yes, it keeps BTA. Yeah, that's one thing that a lot of people just don't get. It's like, yes, making art is really nice, but in order to actually keep making the art, you need to make money. Okay, you need to make money. That's why having good business sense with these sort of things also goes a long way. That's why it still boggles my mind the fact that I could run a massive gaming company so much better than a lot of these so-called gaming executives. Dear Lord, some of the stupidity that they've done. And no more. Alright. Priest blood attack power. Yes, that is one thing that they have stated, that they do want to stay lean. Having a small team like that is really beneficial, because then multiple people will have to learn different ways of doing things, and they can't rely on other companies. And it also, if they learn to do a bunch of things themselves, they won't have to outsource a bunch of stuff, and they won't have to worry about that. They won't have to worry about a whole lot of negatives that come with outsourcing as well. And plus, with someone that works in the same building as you, if you're having a problem with, say, like some of the code, or like certain models aren't working properly, you can you can see who worked on it and go to that person directly and ask them, hey, can you help me figure out what's going on here? And they can, and that also helps out quite a bit. It's also a lot more productive as well, where you don't have to call from across country. You don't have to deal with a lot of BS that comes with. Also, it's not. Plus, you don't have to. Plus, there's nowhere near as many people's fingers are in the pie. Of course, you're always going to have a publishing company, or you can just publish the game yourselves. Expedition 33 did have a publisher, but that does not mean it's not an indie title. There have been plenty of indie titles that have had publishers. And the guy who is the owner of Expedition 33 has stated that he's not looking to grow the company too big, which is a great sign. And hopefully he sticks to it. Because they are because you don't, with how good Expedition 33 is, you do not suddenly just waltz into that sort of thought. Come on. Like I was saying, you don't just waltz into that sort of talent. The leadership has to be disciplined, not to have scope creep be a thing, because that is a thing that is very prevalent in the gaming industry, and that's what causes so many budgetary problems. And let's see. Don't know why I'm having so many issues, because I let's see. Sacred energy that you main weapon, flaming strike. Drive is taken to the ground. Sharp. Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, okay. I like that. All right. I need to let it cool down. Okay. There we go. Yeah, the also, oh gosh, what now I got preoccupied. I can't. Oh yeah. Something else I hope does happen is oh gosh. I don't know if you've heard of a YouTuber called The Fake Wizard. He recently did a video on Grand Theft Auto 6, and he's hoping that the game charges $200, because he actually talked with a lot of people, and they said $200 is the limit that they would spend on it. And honestly, I hope Grand Theft Auto 6 fails, because then that would send a shockwave throughout the entire gaming industry, to where it would just force every single publisher and these different companies to make changes, make things cheaper, actually stop putting billions of dollars or hundreds of $1,000,000 into these games that should not cost that much. Would a lot of people lose their jobs? Yeah, but come on, that's already happening. Oh yeah, that's right, he has been on panels with Hypnotic. I forgot about that. And if Grand Theft Auto 6 fails, that will send a massive shockwave within the industry that needs to happen. And that would also force things to come down in price. And I would love for this stupid AI bubble to go away too, but that's not going to be going away for a while. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, of course there's a lot of fraud. It's very obvious. The fact that certain games cost, like, it's like, I'm sure you've seen that latest Outpost or whatever game from the UK that recently came out that was just straight propaganda. I'm sorry, but that government should not be making video games. Just straight up. Oh, come on. Personally, and oh gosh, what's a really good example of some sort of fraud is like what happened with the day before. That was just a massive disaster, and they eventually had to release something because, well, a lot of their other stuff. Oh yeah, Spider-Man 2. That game cost like $300 million, and I'm pretty sure Sony is cutting back on their spending, hopefully, because, well, Concord. And then of course Concord was a 400 million. Oh, and then of course Concord was a $400 million disaster. That was just why and how. Hold on. You know what? No, I can't play with mouse. I cannot play with mouse. Okay, I guess I'll just go this way then. And the fact that I do not care what people say. If a game takes you over a decade to make and costs $2 billion, which is what Grand Theft Auto 6 has been taking, I'm sorry. I don't care. Something should not take that long to make. I don't care if it's Rockstar. I don't care if it's Nintendo. I do not care. And that's why I'm hoping that Grand Theft Auto 6 fails, because I actually care about the video game industry, and I know if something doesn't drastically change, nothing is gonna get better. So it may, and you gotta make and things sometimes just gotta be done by force in order to get them to change, because these executives and these investment people, most executives are anyway. There have been plenty of good executives, but a lot of the ones nowadays just are leeches. And the marketing everywhere. You'll see them on cans, food products. and that's another thing that I'm glad that failed was Call of Duty. Um, un- Unfortunately, Battlefield 6 has been screwing up as of late, from what I've heard. But that's EA being EA, and they just can't. Oh, they just can't help themselves. And EA got EA either is EA. I don't think the deal's been sealed as of yet. Of course, we all know Saudi Arabia is gonna be owning EA, and that just goes to show you that the business model a lot of these bigger publishers have been working on has just been not working, and they've been losing money up the wazoo, and they've been lying through their teeth, which really makes me wonder, where did all the money go? Oh, that's right, to absurd CEO payouts and good and expense and golden parachutes, instead of putting money towards making sure that the products are good and making sure everything stays within budget. No, the executives are paid a exorbitant amount of money a year, and then when you now, granted, I'm going to use Nintendo as an example here, even though they can be extremely greedy and they make some really terrible decisions. The executives at EA aren't paid nowhere near the amount the Western publishers are being paid. I can't remember, I would have to look it up, but I think it was less than $100 million a year that Nintendo's executives made. But then you look over and you see someone like from EA, Andrew Wilson, who makes a couple $100 million a year. It really just goes to show you that stuff needs to change. Executives need to stop being paid this much money, especially since they're not actually doing their jobs. They're not running the company probably. And honestly, if I had my way, stock trading would not be a thing. And public trading would not be a thing. Because it does nothing but cause problems with the companies themselves. These executives are so worried about making sure the investors are happy. And when you look at the companies that aren't, the companies that made the best... Okay, my internet froze up for a second there. Okay. Okay, I am reconnected, thankfully. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The Larian Studios is a really good example. They crowdfunded for Baldur's Gate 3, and they didn't have any executives, or they didn't have any stockholders going over their shoulder. They're an independent company, and they made sure to focus on making a good game to make sure people actually want to buy it. And that's one thing that just irks me. My stream, okay. what is going on here? Open YouTube Studio. Close. Okay. Okay. Poor. Of course, my internet is being funky right now. Let's see here. Create highlight video. No, I don't want to. Okay. Okay. My internet's being funky right now. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if that stops draining some of the internet. Okay. Wi-Fi off. Okay. Okay. Got those. Okay. Oh, there we go. That actually helped. Okay. Cool. Sorry about that, Tomahawk. I had to fix a couple things. Okay, my stream is actually doing much better. Okay, increase attack power. Yes, I'll take that. Alright. I do not have enough of that. Alright. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Alright. Let's try this first boss again. Die. Okay. Okay. Single attack. Okay. Oh, That post should not be blocking my attacks like that. Okay. One of the things that I do want to do sometime in the future, I need to get the setup for it, but I want to start streaming with my retro consoles like my GameCube and my PlayStation 2, and my Nintendo 64, and my Super Nintendo, but I need to make sure I actually get the proper stuff for it, because you can't actually, even with like the PS3, you can't just stream it, that sort of thing. There's something with the signal being blocked. I don't really quite know. Alright, I guess, okay, let's go. Alright. Nice long-range weapon. Yeah. Come to Papa. It also bugs me when people will say, but if the gaming industry crashes, a bunch of people will lose their jobs. Yeah, and the gaming industry is not producing good games right now, really. The only ones that are doing anything worthwhile are the AA and the indie space in the West. AAA is not really making money. Main weapon is... So a lot of these shields I can't stand. Right. Let's go for the next one. Oh crap, I forgot to heal. I should have healed. Plus, this weapon is perfect for... Plus, this is perfect for distance with these bugs. All right. All right, I guess we go this way. Long range. All right.